James Clear's Atomic Habits made one rule famous: do a habit for just 2 minutes a day. Most people think it works because small is easy. That's only half the story. There's a 100-year-old psychological glitch hiding underneath this rule. And once you see it, you'll realize you've been fighting your own brain instead of using it. By the end of this video, you'll understand not just why tiny habits stick, but why your unfinished to-do list feels like it's haunting you and exactly what to do about both. Think about the last time you opened your laptop to just check one email and somehow lost 40 minutes, or paused the show mid-episode and felt it nagging at you for the rest of the day. But once you finished the whole season, you forgot about it almost instantly. These aren't random quirks, they're the same mental mechanism showing up in completely different situations. Let's start with where this gets named, and then I'll show you how deep it actually goes. In Atomic Habits, James Clear talks about what's sometimes called the 2-minute rule. Instead of committing to a full workout, you commit to putting on your shoes. Instead of writing a chapter, you write one sentence. The logic Clear gives is simple. Starting is the hardest part, so you remove the friction of starting by making the first step almost embarrassingly small. Most people stop there and think, okay, small steps, got it. But the book doesn't fully explain why this tiny action ends up pulling you into doing more. That's where it gets interesting. Back in the 1920s, a psychologist named Bluma Zeigarnik was sitting in a cafe in Vienna and noticed something odd. The waiters could perfectly recall complicated multi-item orders, but only while the bill was still unpaid. The second a customer settled up, that same waiter would completely forget what they'd ordered, sometimes within minutes. Zeigarnik took this back to her lab and ran controlled experiments. She gave people a list of simple tasks, let them complete some, and interrupted them partway through others. Again and again, people remembered the interrupted, unfinished tasks far better than the ones they'd actually completed. This became known as the Zeigarnik Effect. Our minds give unfinished business a kind of psychological priority flag that finished business simply doesn't get. Here's the part that actually changed how I think about discipline. The 2-minute rule isn't really about making things easy. It's about deliberately opening a file in your brain that you know your brain hates leaving open. You're not relying on motivation at all. You're exploiting a glitch that reframes willpower as something almost unnecessary. Once you know to look for it, this effect is basically running the entire attention economy. That little red notification badge on your phone, open loop. A cliffhanger ending on a show, open loop. Even an argument that ended without resolution will replay in your head for days, while one that got fully talked through fades fast. Apps, shows, and games are often deliberately designed around never quite letting you close the loop. But here's the part most habit content skips entirely. Open loops aren't always good for you. If you've ever lain awake at 1 a.m. with 5 unfinished tasks spinning in your head, that's the exact same mechanism, except now it's working against you instead of for you. This is actually the entire premise behind David Allen's book, Getting Things Done. Allen's core argument is that your brain isn't a reliable storage system for unfinished commitments. It's a terrible one. It just keeps the file open and anxious without ever helping you finish it. His fix isn't to avoid open loops, it's to capture every single one somewhere outside your head, a list, a note, anything, so your brain gets to treat it as handled even before it's actually done. So here's how to use both sides of this on purpose. First, when you want to build a habit, start it small enough that stopping feels weirder than continuing. Leave the book open on the page, not closed on the shelf. Second, when a task is stressing you out, don't try to push through and finish it immediately. Just write down the next concrete step. Research on this shows that simply having a plan tricks your brain into treating the task as resolved, almost as effectively as finishing it. Third, do a 5-minute brain dump before bed. List every open loop in your head onto paper. You're not solving anything, you're just giving your brain permission to stop guarding the door. So Atomic Habits tells you to start small. The Zeigarnik Effect tells you why that works. Your brain won't let an open file go, and Getting Things Done tells you how to stop that same mechanism from working against you. 3 ideas, 1 underlying glitch in how your mind handles unfinished. Today's Cairn marker: don't aim to finish. Aim to start so small or capture so completely that your brain has no reason left to worry. If connecting an old psychology study to 2 habit books like this is the kind of thing you enjoy, that's exactly what MindCairn does every week. Subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.